Okay, let's dive into this week's analysis. We're looking at the crypto markets as of September 29th, 2025, and really trying to answer that key question. Is this a correction we're seeing, or maybe just a breather before things take off again?
Right, and the fundamental starting point here, something you really need to grasp, is the connection to the broader market. Crypto broke lower right after we saw U.S. equities, specifically the Nasdaq, pull back a bit.
That correlation seems, well, stronger than ever.
It's crucial right now. It really is the leading indicator for the next move, it seems.
So tech stocks are basically setting the tone. That
Yeah.
means there's this dual possibility, right? If the Nasdaq keeps heading south, crypto probably weakens further.
Almost certainly.
But if stocks stabilize, maybe even climb a bit, then this dip suddenly looks like a potential buying opportunity, a cheaper entry.
Exactly. That's how the market is likely viewing it. And this context is really important when we talk about risk.
Yeah, let's talk about that. New studies are saying Bitcoin's volatility is still, what, 4 or 5 times riskier than holding the S&P 500?
That's the current number, yes. Which sounds high, and it is, compared to traditional assets. But here's the twist, the really interesting part.
Okay.
That volatility number, it's actually falling over the longer term. It's trending down.
Well, unexpected.
Yeah. And some analysts are making this fascinating comparison. They're looking back like 40 years ago at gold.
Gold, how does that connect?
Well, gold used to be incredibly volatile back then, sort of like crypto is now. It went through these wild swings before it eventually settled down and became seen as, a relatively stable store of value.
So the idea is maybe crypto is on a similar path, just much earlier in its life cycle.
That's the implication. It suggests these dips, even sharp ones, might be part of a longer journey toward, well, maybe not stability like gold, but
Yeah.
certainly becoming a more established, perhaps less Wild West asset class over time. It reframes how you might look at a correction like this.
Okay, that's a really useful long-term perspective. With that frame, let's get into the specific levels people are watching right now. Bitcoin first, trading just under $110,000 as we record this.
Correct. And the positive news for the bulls is that it's managed so far to stay above that really critical technical support zone around $108,000.
So 108K is the key level. What happens if it breaks?
Well, that's the line in the sand. If Bitcoin decisively breaks below $108,000, the correction could easily extend. We'd likely see a push down towards the 50-day moving average.
Which is sitting where now?
That's down near $97,720. So pretty close to that big psychological $100 mark. It could get dicey below 108K.
And on the upside, what signals a recovery?
We need to see a solid break back above $115,000. That would suggest the bulls are back in control and ready to push higher.
Got it. Okay, 108K support, 115K resistance for BTC. Now, Ethereum, it hit a new all-time high last month, but this pullback looks pretty sharp too. ETH is around $4,000 now.
Yeah, the correction in ETH looks quite strong. For Ethereum, the absolutely crucial support level is $3,900. It really needs to hold above that mark.
$3,900. And for upside momentum to return.
Similar story to Bitcoin, really. We need a clear break of resistance. For ETH, that level is up around $4,800. Breaking that would signal the uptrend is likely resuming.
All right. Let's move on to some other key tokens. XRP trading around $2.78. It had a really strong start to the year, didn't it? Some attributed that to political shifts, but it seems like it's lost steam.
It definitely has. And if you look at the charts, the candlestick patterns, they're showing clear signs of fading momentum right now.
So warning signs for XRP holders.
I'd say so, yes. Regaining those recent highs near $3.17 looks challenging in the immediate term. The risk seems skewed towards the downside, potentially testing the next major support area around $2.30.
Okay, $2.30 support for XRP. Finally, let's look at Solana, SOL. It's sitting right on a big number, $200. Sentiment seemed to turn pretty quickly there last week.
Very quickly. And that $200 level is absolutely pivotal for SOL. Simple as that. For any more upside, it needs to stay above $200.
And if it doesn't, back to the NASDAQ correlation.
Exactly. If the Nasdaq continues to slide, the analysis suggests SOL will likely break that $200 support. The next stop would probably be its 50-day moving average, which is down around $172.85.
So a common theme here. Supports are really being tested across the board, and it sounds like the health of U.S. tech stocks is going to dictate the next move for pretty much everyone in crypto right now.
That seems to be the short-term driver, yes. It's definitely a tense moment watching these key levels.
It really is.
But, let's circle back to that gold comparison for a final thought. If volatility is genuinely falling over the long run, and if crypto is maybe following a similar, albeit faster path towards becoming more established, Well, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is this correction actually an inflection point, the start of that slow journey? What's your take on that long-term picture for stability?
Definitely something to think about as you watch these charts. Okay, that's our deep dive for this week. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you next time.